Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you again for joining us for another episode of Inside the Industry. It's our content series here at Peake that we produce to shine a light on all the different facets of the cannabis industry and the community. By extension of that, we have talked with everybody from legislators to product producers, community advocates, policymakers, and everybody in between, just to give our patient community a fuller picture of what exists in the community here in Maryland and introduce them to faces that they may not know, but the works of those people that they may be familiar with. And that might be the case for some of our viewers today as we introduce Mr. Terrell Taylor from the MJ Connect, which I know everybody in our patient community is very much familiar with, but you may not have ever encountered Terrell Taylor, who is the founder of that. So it's our hope today that you're able to gain an understanding of everything that he's done with the MJ Connect, everything from the website that you've seen, the events that have occurred, the cannabis awards, and just all those things we'll be getting into today. So I'm joined today by our Peake Release Executive VP, Tracy Lancaster. And so with that, I want to say thank you to Terrell for joining us today and appreciate you sharing your time with us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys having me on here today.
Definitely.
It's an honor.
So to get right into it, like I said, everybody's probably familiar with the MJ Connect, but you can give us a little bit of a background into how that came together for you and what was your path into the cannabis community.
Sure. Well, I started my cannabis journey back in early 2018. Started off as a bud tender at ReLeaf dispensary in Upper Marlboro. So I started off as a patient counselor, moved into being inventory manager, and also assistant GM at ReLeaf dispensary. And during that time, I say around like 2019, the deliverability of text message deals, which most dispensaries were sending out at that time, they started to get blocked by carriers. So we had had patients calling all the time, like, what are the deals? I'm not getting text messages, and it was really out of our control, at that point in time. So I had an idea of just having a network, a community, a page where people can come get that information. It's not based upon your carrier blocking that message. You can just come to a source and you can see the daily deals that are happening around the state of Maryland. And also furthering that by showing different certifying doctors as well, because at a dispensary, you can't really promote a certain certifying doctor over another one, but we could tell patients, hey, check out this source, and you can see different certified doctors that exist in the Maryland area. And just having a platform for other Maryland cannabis-related businesses and CBD companies and delivery systems and different nonprofits, also having a platform for them so they could get more notice from the patients that are in the state. So it's been a journey so far. We launched the app. We're an Android app. We launched that about a year and a half ago, and just been moving with that. And then also having events that are Maryland cannabis centered as well. We had a Maryland Cannabis Awards where we gave out 25 different trophies to different growers, processors, and also dispensaries as well. We just had our second one this January 14th. And we've also had a CBD infused food cook-off event where we had 15 different chefs compete in 5 different food categories, and people could come, sample the food, hang out, have a good time, see different Maryland cannabis businesses at tables, and get swag and information from those companies. Looking forward to doing that again here in May coming up. But we had quite a few events last year, so it was good to see people come together, and that's the mission of the MJ Connect, bringing information and people together so we're stronger as a community.
That's a great overview of everything that you've been working on with MJ Connect, the event side, and the deal side, the website, the app. So thank you for that. I was wondering, could you tell us a little bit more about kind of your journey into the cannabis community and how that kind of started?
Sure. Well, I started consuming cannabis 25 years ago, back when I was in high school. So I've always been fascinated with the culture. Uh, Attended the 2004, 2005, and 2006 High Times Cannabis Cups out in Amsterdam. So that was like my first time ever being on a plane when I was 19. I was flying out to Amsterdam like by myself, just because I always been fascinated. Used to buy the High Times magazines and seeing all these strains that the Dutch have that, well, now made their way over here as well, but just always loved the different styles of plants and the different strains and want to just be knowledgeable about it all and experience, things outside of the United States, as well. So I've always just been a huge advocate for, cannabis. So when I saw the opportunity to actually get into the industry back in 2018, it was kind of a no-brainer of, what I should be doing that's actually gonna make me happy. Of course, like the pay at that point was a huge thought because I, hadn't got paid so little in a long time, but I knew overall, just with my passion over the plant, like I'll be able to make something work out and, be happy. And I love coming to work. Actually, I love being at the dispensary and, dealing with patients and the products and, and everyone that's just involved in the community.
And it's really dope that you kind of have this full journey, at a dispensary, patient counselor, inventory management, assistant GM. How would you compare your experiences working in a dispensary to founding and growing the MJ Connect? Because both are like very patient focused experiences. Like on the one hand, you're kind of face to face with the patient, interacting with them. On the other hand, you're kind of aggregating all this information that's valuable for a patient on the site. You're conducting these events where patients can kind of mingle and get together, get to know more about the community and the industry. So there are some kind of similarities that I can see, but from your experience, kind of where are the overlaps between those two experiences? And I don't want to ask like which one do you like more, but like, what has been some of the highlights for both of those sides for you?
I mean, I enjoy both. Um, I used to really like being, a patient counselor when I started, just actually talking with people and getting to know people and their background and why they're trying cannabis maybe for the first time or why they've been a long time user. So helping people out from the beginning, it's always a rewarding, system, and having people come back and be thankful of the services you provide. So I would say that's kind of overlap with the MJ Connect. I do get thanked by people all the time, just the work I put in the morning, just putting on deals just for people to be more knowledgeable around in the community. So they do kind of play hand in hand, both dispensaries and, what I'm doing with the MJ Connect. It's all about getting the information to people. And I think that should be the main focus when people are looking for it as a medicine, to actually be informed, about it completely and where to go and what's what.
That's great, those experiences that you have. Could you tell us a little bit about with MJ Connect kind of as a whole, from the app and the website and the deals to the events? What has been the response from the community?
I got a pretty good response from everybody in the community. I feel everyone enjoys coming, to my events. Doing something that can be looked at as the yearly event. I think people really, enjoy it with like the awards and the cook-off. Just a little sense of competition and competing. People do like to, compete and win and, just be recognized like for their hard work. So, I definitely love doing events. I definitely love having everybody get together and have a good time. And I think everybody, also enjoys that, and meeting new people that are in the industry, or sometimes, like we'll talk to people over the phone or over email, but you've never actually met that person. Uh, so I used to happen for me a lot when I used to buy all the products. Like at MedLeaf, I would talk to lots of people every single week, never met them, but meeting them and being able to have a bigger bond, a greater bond by, them meeting each other. I think people really enjoy, that aspect of just getting together and having a theme focus, event as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can see just from participating in the industry, I see how excited people get when the awards kind of come around, and everybody wants to, just attend the event, be able to kind of sit and mingle with their industry peers and see who wins what. So kind of speaking about that, can you talk a little bit about how, for you, how did it get started? Like the cannabis awards, like what was your initial idea going into it? How do you see it continuing to grow, and just that entire journey for you?
Right. Well, like I mentioned before, me going out to the High Times Cannabis Cups, it was, you know, almost 20 years ago now. That just like competition right there is always what I thought would be good for, the Maryland scene. So kind of when I started to have a little bit of a platform and the, ends to do it, I thought it would be a perfect way for people to get together in Maryland and have a little friendly competition with all the growers, the processors, and dispensaries within the state. So I just thought that would just naturally be a plan, moving forward, starting the MJ Connect. Like I said, the main focus is connecting communities and people. So I thought that would, be a perfect way. And it's definitely grown in the last 2 years, I would imagine, as more patients and people, find out, especially for those who have already won the awards. Of course, we want to continue to win awards, you know, at that part. So, yeah, I feel it's going to get, bigger, and, that's the goal and the focus. And, I like to see people win. That's a good feeling. I know people like to receive that recognition and get the awards because, the industry can be, taxing, on people, but sometimes something as small as that, can make you sit back and remember why, like, you're in the industry and doing, what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I attended this last award ceremony that you had, and just the atmosphere of it was so great. Everybody was so happy. They were excited. Everybody was cheering for everybody. There was a lot of really great camaraderie there. So I thought that was really cool.
That's good.
Could you also, yeah, you had mentioned the CBD cook-off that you've been doing. Could you tell us kind of where that kind of came from and your vision for where, that would be going in the future?
Sure. Well, I'm a huge foodie. I love food, as most people do. I just thought that would be something fun. There's so many amazing chefs in our area, and people are looking for information on how to infuse foods. And CBD is definitely a good start. Having just CBD in your daily regimen, and especially if you can get into your foods, it can be a easy way to go about your day. So I just thought a friendly competition with chefs around the area also help get them, recognition as well, so they can boost their business is definitely one of the goals for it. And just another event people can come and just have a great time and be able to try so many different foods. We had about 20 chefs competing in like 5 different food categories. So there was a wide range of foods and desserts, and people were amazed with what people were doing. And I'm sure this year the food and the presentations on the food by the chefs will just be that much greater. Now that they've all seen each other do it like once, I think there's definitely a little bit more of, okay, I could do this better, I could do that better, or that person won by doing this. So, helping everybody get better and trying more things and just thinking outside of the box. You know, that's what I like, about it, and the food. We had amazing food last year, so yeah, I feel it'll just grow every year and just get bigger and better.
Yeah, that's really dope. I mean, I think one of the things that I really like to see, and thankfully we've been seeing a lot more of it, are more community centered events that are not just, you know, product pop-ups, but are like real, these are things that the community is doing, whether showcasing skills or talents or, different elements of their creativity, but doing it in a way that just brings so many different facets of the community together. Seeing more and more of those events is really, really cool to see. And my hope was always that by the time, I mean, we've been in the market's been around for a couple, several years now. So I was hoping to see more and more of those as the market evolved and grew. And, even as we get closer to adult use, I'm hoping that that'll be the just something that you see more and more of. And it won't be just like a one-off event like you see like every several months, but like, oh, every month there's something going on in the community because so many other people have access to it as a result of adult use, or so many more patients are coming in, seeing the benefit for, whatever medical needs they may have, or, that sort of thing. So I'm glad to see some of the things that you're doing, and hopefully it continues to, inspire other people to come forward with their ideas too. I mean, I'm personally looking forward to the the cook off. I mean, I love food too, so
Right. Those some good stuff. Some good
yeah,
stuff
that's
before.
definitely on my list of things to do.
But yeah, I
Um,
imagine in July there's going to be a huge boost of events coming up soon. Um, this is definitely something I'm excited, about just growing. In the future, more and more people, like you said, are going to have great ideas and great themes of events that can get people together and something to look forward to, as well. Like it's not just a one and done,
mhm,
type of event.
yeah, definitely. Um, with that, you're planning so many different things that are, in the pipeline, some things that are coming soon. And we've talked a little bit about kind of the your future plans in regards to, the MJ Connect and some of the events that you're, spearheading. What are some of the things that you like to see in regards to just the future of this industry here in Maryland? I mean, you've had by sharing your experience, a very long history with the plant. I mean, you've been overseas, you've seen how things are done over there, you've seen how events are carried over there. You've established yourself here in Maryland. Like, what are the things that you'd like to see in terms of, the cannabis community or even in the industry in Maryland and where that might go?
I'd like to see a not an oversaturation of products and dispensaries and those that are operating. Um, I would hate to see people starting up businesses and not being able to sustain, these businesses, or being bought out by the same people. Personally, that's one of the ways I like to hope to see it grow in that way. So there is variety for people. There's different fields, different dispensaries, different types of, medicine out there. Not all from, the same people, and just having it be fair for everybody moving forward. I mean, I think it's definitely going to be a good thing coming forward, with the people that, for whatever reasons, may have not wanted to get their medical card before, but now, feel that they can come and actually ask questions and, figure out why different cannabinoids could, be good for them. Um, so just spreading, knowledge amongst the patients, and, letting people know it's not just about getting high. That's one of the things I like to see, continue to grow. And I think Maryland has a pretty good system, letting patients know about the different terpenes and cannabinoids in there, and, making it, about medicine. So that's the one thing I like to see, that continue to grow, that we have knowledgeable people in the industry that are willing to share this information, with everybody.
And I guess, even with like the products, I mean, one of the things that you mentioned were just a more diverse range of products, but also not coming from the same people, like just a wider range of product producers and maybe, specific directions that those products can take. But are there any products that the Maryland market doesn't have? And you don't, necessarily have to say like this brand or whatever, but like types of products that the Maryland market doesn't have that you've seen elsewhere, in your kind of experience with the plant that you think Maryland can benefit from, or do you think we're kind of in a good place in terms of how our products are evolving?
Well, I think the edibles can definitely expand. Now it's just kind of gummies, little taffies, chocolates. I had the pleasure of going to Panacea Wellness in Massachusetts, and they have the, Betty's Eddie's ice cream there. Um, so that's, a product that, well, I know will be coming to Maryland, but that'd be, good to see, for people working on popsicles and diversifying like the foods, because not everybody wants to eat a gummy or a chocolate or something like that. Or it's like the Bubby's bake. That was a nice change of product that came out recently. Being a baked good. Um, I think food. There's just endless ways you can infuse it and give it to people. So that's going to be really exciting. Just seeing the different forms of what we can get infused foods in.
Yeah, and thinking about, that future, let's say, I don't know, maybe 5 years from now, we should be seeing a lot of those types of products in the market. A lot of different variety. Will be pretty close to 5 years into adult use sales at that point. What is your vision for MJ Connect at kind of that point in the market? Like what is your hopes and goals for MJ Connect?
Well, right now I'm working on a streaming service actually as we speak. So I think that's going to be the next thing that MJ Connect will be doing, having a streaming service where people can see content, how to do different podcasts, different events content that people create, just having it on one platform that is going to look like a Netflix or Hulu. Um, Having a platform people can share their videos and it's not censored necessarily, or doesn't agree with whatever algorithm um, that people have like in place. So I think in Maryland, there's lots of people that are creating, great content, and having another platform for that to get shared with people can hugely benefit everybody involved. So just getting in to the digital world of everything. Um, People like videos and content, and being able to download a channel on their Fire Stick or Roku and just watch TV that's cannabis related.
Yeah, that's a really incredible idea. I mean, I can't wait to see, how that continues to evolve and continue to be worked out until it's launched. Because, as somebody that, with Peak, we produce a lot of, different video content, including like, the series. And you're always at the whims of whatever platform you put it on. Like with YouTube, there are certain things that, we can say or can't say, and, everything could be educational, but the instant you mention like a product and you imply that it might be sold, then you can't put it there. And you have to be careful with social media platforms. So it's like all the different areas that we want to make sure that we can reach our patients have different rules that can vary from platform to platform. And being able to think about a specific streaming service that has all of the types of content that you'd want to see, has all the types of content that you'd want to see, um, and easily accessible is a really, really incredible thing to think about, especially when you think about all the different people here in Maryland that are producing that source of content, and people that are from here that would like to see other people in their community, what they're doing, how they're engaging products, how they're um, using cannabis in their day-to-day holistic care, like all those different types of subjects could be covered on a streaming service. So there's really like the sky's the limit. So knowing that's something that you're working on is really, really cool to think about.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'd definitely like to, share all the content you guys create, as well, on there. Like I said, it's all about just spreading and getting information, out to people. And I think that's the goal.
Definitely. So I think, is there anything that you would like to share with our patient community that we haven't discussed? I mean, we talked about a little bit, the journey of the MJ Connect from its inception to where it is, and some of the things that you're planning for it to expand on. We talked about the awards and how that kind of kicked off, and this cook-off that's coming soon that I'm personally really looking forward to. Um, um, is there anything else that you kind of like to share with our patient community about not only yourself but the MJ Connect and just other things that you want them to be aware of?
Yeah, just definitely have everyone, check out the website. Follow me as well on, social media platforms. Get different information. On our site we show, pop-ups, events, and deals, and just try to gather information, for everybody. Is the goal. Definitely see me out and about. I'm at a lot of, Maryland cannabis events, and hopefully be able to connect or help, you know, people have different ideas. I might know a person that, may be able to help, just connecting, the dots. And that's what the MJ Connect is all about, helping and serving.
Well, we sincerely appreciate everything that you've done for the patient community, and it's good to have somebody local that is looking again to just pull all the things that are pertinent for a patient to know in this community, whether it's about specific products, about a promotion they could benefit from, an event they might want to attend, just how they can better network with other like-minded patients or people in the industry. Being able to have that created by somebody local is really, really cool because a lot of times it feels like we kind of have to depend on what coverage can be given to the things that we're doing from outside sources. Whether it's like bigger companies like nationwide things that might have like a little page on their site dedicated to Maryland, as opposed to somebody like you that is really looking at the entirety of the industry and the community and saying, this is where you can go to find this is where you can go to find this, and it's all in one really convenient place. And like I said, you have the app coming, going in and the streaming service. So it's like the one-stop shop for everything that you might need when it comes to the industry and the community here in Maryland. So I know that I speak for a lot of people in the patient community, extending our thanks for all the work that you do and can, continue to do, because I know it's not easy. Just even having the website going and trying to aggregate everything, I'm sure that takes a considerable amount of time. So, I appreciate,
Those are my mornings.
yeah, yeah. So I know I appreciate all the work that you do, and I know I'm
Thank
not the
you.
only
I
the only
appreciate
one.
that
Yeah, for sure.
for sure.
So, again, thank you to our patient community for joining us. I'm going to make sure that everything is linked at the tail end of this episode so you know where to go, how to follow the MJ Connect, how to stay in touch with everything that Terrell is doing. And hopefully we will see you all at the cook-off. I know I keep mentioning it because, again, that's my,
We know you gonna be there.
I'm gonna be there. So if no one else is gonna be there, I'm gonna be in attendance. So thank you for your time again, Terrell. Really appreciate it,
Thank you.
and we look forward to everything that you have coming in the future.
Cool. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.
You
Be
too.
safe.
You too.
Thank you, Terrell.
You're welcome. Thank you.